Yep, Charlamagne the God. My guy Andrew Schulz is running around the globe right now, but he'll be back next week. But today's episode is brought to you by Squarespace. From websites to the online stores, the marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. There are no hidden fees or price hikes, and all websites are optimized for mobile. And it's so simple. Start with a design template and use drag and drop tools to make it your own. Head to squarespace.com/idiot for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code idiot to save 10% off your first purchase. Now let's start the show. Man, I got to say something, man. Look at God, because these three individuals that we have in here today, I didn't even know that they was gonna be on the show this week, but they in town, so why not? The Ghetto Legends themselves, DC YoungFly, Chico Bean, Karlous Miller, collectively known as the 85 South Show, fresh off a #1 trending show on Netflix. #1 trending, knocked off Black Mirror, #1 trending in America.
I'm gonna go get that tatted.
Damn.
Number one, 85 South.
Knocking off Black Mirror.
Knocking off Black Mirror.
That's their flagship show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big show. Black Mirror's a huge show.
Yeah.
I told you.
It don't matter who. I don't want to say knock off because, I salute everybody and, in all their endeavors. But it's like, this is what happens when you allow people to create for real. You know what I'm saying? It's new to the people who we didn't expect to be watching us or who we never thought was watching us. But we've been #1 to all the 85%.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I tell people if you just getting hip to the 85 South Show, then you definitely culturally clueless. I told y'all I was in Cannes, France, at Cannes Lions with all the advertisers and all the corporations, and when that shit came out that y'all went #1, it was either two reactions. People like, oh shit, congratulations, 85 South been out here cooking. Or #2 is, who is the 85 South Show and why don't we know about them?
Yeah,
Come on in, white people in your dollars.
I love that.
All the way.
I want people to watch the show and be like, how did I not know? Why am I out the loop? Why didn't nobody tell me?
Yeah.
I love when people first discover the show, man.
And salute to your vision, man, because, you've always been tapped into what we do in our talents and always have used your platform to give us a bigger platform to step up to and show the world what it is that we do. So got to salute to you, man, because, we first got kicked off, man. You was one of the first that saw it and was like, man, I want to be a part of what y'all got going on. So, now that the world is starting to realize that you could take some of the credit and be like, man, I've been new. I've been plugged into what them niggas got going on. So,
man, thank you. That's why I wanted Chad to sit in here, man, because I think, people talk to y'all about a bunch of stuff all the time. Who is Chad to y'all, first of all?
A fucking
Chad,
nuisance.
a whole ass nigga.
A nuisance. No, that's our
my
brother,
nigga, man. Our partner,
right there,
That's
man.
my dog, man. I've been knowing Chad since he was about 17, man.
Word?
Yeah, I met Chad. Chad, one of the first people. Chad and Clayton English, one of the first. They the first couple people that I met when I moved to Atlanta. We used to work together.
Okay.
My dog, man. And then it's like, I seen him go from just slacker to the most, dedicated, detailed businessman. It's the craziest transition that I have ever seen.
Chico,
What?
can eat in here if you want to.
I'm not going to eat in the mic. I'm going to turn the mic.
It's for them.
God damn, ma'am.
Taylor just doing her job.
I know Taylor, but
Are we recording
yeah.
video? You recording?
Yeah, but it's all good. I ain't about to chew in the mic. I ain't no, see, but you ain't say nothing.
That's why they covered up. There's a lot of bad breath motherfuckers been on here.
Yes, they have.
You asking about Chad though, man. Chad handle all the details, man. He don't mind being on them calls and going to them lunches and doing that dog and pony show with the corporate people. So that's his role. He makes sure everything is streamlined, handle all the details of, the day-to-day operations of the 85 South Show.
That's good, because that's what I wanted to talk to y'all about today, man. The business of the 85 South Show, because I don't think people realize, how much y'all are doing on the business sense. People watch y'all cultural impact. So I want to get into a lot of that today. But for people who don't know, and they just getting on to y'all because of the Netflix special going #1, who is the 85 South Show? And I want an answer from each one of y'all, because I know it's probably different from each one of y'all.
What you got, Fly?
Man.
Chad, what you got?
Who is the 85 South Show, Chad?
It's a media company that produces across all of the platforms to create without any inhibition, because we've all tried Hollywood. I've tried it from the corporate side, trying to work for people, and they've also tried it from the talent side. And, at some point you just want your own freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like with the Southern, with with the Southern flair for it.
DC?
I feel like the hood always wanted a superhero. And we ain't never really, you watch Batman, watch all of them, you like, damn. You even watch the other one, like Aquaman, you like, they even went in the water before they came to the hood.
Right.
Like, it's like, who the hell is going to come over here, speak for us, talk for us, and not only that, be for us. And I feel like 85 South is like a collection of, it's like Captain Planet, of just every hood, not only just hood, every motherfucker who done been through something and overcame something and understand and have some type of humility is we represent them. Not saying the bottom of the barrel, but people who always get overlooked. The underdog. The motherfucker who may not have the opportunity to have this outlet or this position, but they make the best out of everything that they come across. So we like a big Captain Planet for every last one of those people around the world, because when we go do our shows, these are the type of people we bring out. These are the type of people we got some executives in there, but we got some people that's in there that looking crazy. But it's like the everyday 85%ers, that's what we do it for, man. So it's like 85 South Show is literally like our go-to superhero.
Chico?
85 South is a one-on-one. It's innovation. It's something that's never been done before. When you see the legends, the greats tell us that, man, y'all doing something that's never been done before, that really puts it in perspective what it is that we're accomplishing over here. Because, you've never seen three people who are individual stars be able to come together and share the spotlight. And it wasn't that it couldn't have been done. They just never did it. So the fact that we chose to do it has created a whole nother lane of comedy that didn't exist before we started to do it the way that we do it. I mean, you've had improv troops, you've had, the country guys that went on tour and together and all of that, but you've never seen three black entertainers get on stage together and do it the way that we've done it, because for some reason throughout time, they've always had that me mentality, and I got to be the only one and I got to be the man. So this is something that has created a lane of comedy that didn't exist for our people. And I think that, it's innovative and it's one-on-one in that regard, because now from what you see us do, you're going to be able to see a whole nother type of comedian and type of comedy come out. And the fact that we've been able to do it so consistently and, to be able to give it to people the way that we've given it to them, we've now went #1 on the biggest streaming platform. So now that there's value in this style of comedy. Before, you don't have anything to compare it to, because you can't compare it to something that has never been done before. But now you have a gauge to be able to compare what we do to what we've done, if you will. So I think that it's innovative in that regard, and it's a one-on-one until, we continue to open and break down these doors for people to come behind us. And, like you said, they're going to be talking about what we're doing for years to come. And I don't even think people recognize it. But now that we've gone #1 on Netflix, I think the conversation is going to start a little bit more. So I just think, the best way to explain it is the 85 South Show is a one-on-one.
Karlous, who's the 85 South Show to you?
The 85 South Show is the Avengers of entertainment, because you get to see us do so many things. And I always think about that scene where the Avengers, where it's just total chaos and motherfuckers flying by, doing backflips and jumping off of shit. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's a family environment. Everybody's a mutant. They got multiple talents that they bring to the table every time we do something. From doing Netflix to hosting the BET Awards, man, it's
2 times.
Yeah, it's a range of talent over here. DC sing, dance, do backflips, skate. Chico is gonna come up with the coldest, dopest, purplest, pinkest, smoothest, silkiest fabrics in America.
Crazy.
It's like, it's just crazy to it's just crazy to see the type of talents that you get to be around, and then you get guys like Chad who can do the 4-hour conference calls, and then you got guys like Joe and Kat who just bringing all these different weapons to the table that's just at our disposal. And that's why we're able to cover so much ground, because it's not just the talent is dope. We're surrounded by people who are dope as hell at whatever they do, from the dude rolling the blunt to the motherfuckers setting up the camera to the drivers to the people booking the travel. Like, we have cultivated our village to have the coldest people around us.
And y'all not just three people getting in front of microphones talking, that's what a lot of people, when they see podcasts, that's what they think, right? All of y'all come from a stand-up comedy background.
Right.
What made y'all choose stand-up comedy?
Bruh.
I'm talking about initially, like when
you
y'all
don't get to choose to be a stand-up comedian.
You don't choose.
It's kind of like an affliction. It's like even when you dead ass serious and people still laugh at you, it's like, oh, you must be one of those guys. That's the type of affliction you got. You a comedian. Even when you dead ass serious, people think it's funny. So it's like just to be around guys like DC and Chico and Clayton English and Nav and Moneybag Mafia and just like these guys are, even in their most serious moments, they still hilarious humans in any situation. Like, we done laughed at the most inappropriate shit. And it's like, you don't get to choose that because you don't get to practice that. Being a comedian is naturally in you. I feel like every black family got that one comedian in the family that never did comedy before. We just the ones from our family that stood and took that chance and went on stage with it.
How did y'all know to go on stage though? Especially somebody like you, DC, because they all,
my manager at the time wanted some money. So that's how I got it. I looked up, I was like, you got the show at 9 o'clock. I was like, 9 o'clock tonight? And before you know it, but I had to break the ice though. That's the only thing I can say. I'm glad they did and forced me to do, you know what I'm saying? And once I did break the ice, it was no more, you don't have to force me to do this. It's like, I broke the ice and it was like, ooh, that's the hardest part about stand-up is when you gonna ever go on stage.
You was already hot on social media.
That's just social media. Damn a phone. Yeah. This real life in real time. You know what I'm saying? The shit you say on the net ain't formulated into a joke. It's just some funny shit you said. Now this is when you have to perfect your craft. And once I broke down the ice and I was like, you know what? It's time for me to find out what is a comedian, how to be a comedian, and what can I do with all my other attributes. How can I bring them and enhance me being a comedian? And once I really took it serious, it was like, oh, I've been doing it. I just had to be a professional.
Chico, when you first took on that stage?
When I graduated from college, I graduated from Winston-Salem State and was trying to figure out what I was going to do with myself. And, a friend of mine named Jerome, who was my partner at the time, you know what I'm saying, we was doing everything as far as hosting the step shows and the pageants and all that stuff for the school. And he was like, you should try comedy. And mind you, I've been public speaking my whole life. I've been in front of people talking, but comedy was never something that I thought to do. I was always a fan and I loved the art of it, but I never thought to do it. And then even in me hosting the shows at the school, the laughs that I would get, I just, I didn't attribute it to being a stand-up comedian. I just thought I was good at hosting stuff. So, it was an open mic at the Comedy Zone in Greensboro. Every first and second Thursday of the month. I went the first Thursday, everybody bombed. I was like, well, shit, I can at least do this bad. And I went back the next week and went up and did 4 minutes. And after I did them 4 minutes, it's like a movie. When I came off the stage and my feet hit the floor, I was like, oh shit, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Your life changed.
Yeah, this is what I'm supposed to, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's like, if I felt it like, this is my calling. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is the way that I'm supposed to impact the world. And I felt it even as an open micer my first time doing 4 minutes on stage. And in my mind, I killed. You really can't kill in 4 minutes, but
especially
I did.
Your first time.
Yeah, and in my mind, I just fucked these people up in here.
I'm the next Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time,
not me. I was like, I need work.
You know what I mean?
You bombed?
I didn't bomb. They were just looking at me, which is worse than boos, because you said it yesterday. At least people got the energy to boo you. When people they just looking at you, boy, you doing bad. And I had one person laughing, but he was drunk. He was, but I was like, man, now it's I know I'm doing bad. But he like, no, nigga, he was the only person that really gave me motivation. He was like, no, you funny, but you just got to find to perfect it. And once I perfected it, it was like, oh, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
When you took that stage, Lo?
When did
first time?
The very first time that I got on stage to do anything creative, it was probably, outside of school shit. I'm talking about like as an adult. I started off doing improv with this improv troupe. And in between our sets, like while they was, switching out for the games or whatever, somebody got to go out there and talk some shit, at least to the games is set up. So I used to take those little spots and just go out and just keep the crowd warmed up and just keep talking shit. So what ended up happening is between those sets, after, a season of doing that, I actually talked to the dude who owned the club, and I was like, he let me get the stage by myself, and I threw my first show completely by myself and went on there, and it's like, I did the show, and that feeling, like I said, it just, that first little time, it just consumed my life, and it just changed everything. It's just, I was just like fighting to get back on stage. But, you know, it was just one of those things where it took a while to come into. But that shit changed everything. That first time, that first laugh, that feeling of you just doing 5 minutes on stage, but this shit had you up all night. You can't go to bed. It's adrenaline still pumping. Like, I still get that feeling every time it's a show day.
Did y'all know each other in those comedy clubs when y'all was?
I knew Chico first.
Okay.
I knew Karlous because I was a fan.
Okay. Did y'all interact then, or y'all?
Well, I was a fan of him, and I didn't know he fucked with my comedy until I saw a little clip on Vine. Somebody asked him, and he said my name. And as soon as he did that, exactly. As soon as he said that shit, I pulled up on him. As soon as I saw it, because I knew the guys that was managing him, and they was like, "Man, DC, he'll be down here this evening." I'm pulling up. I fuck with that young dude because I used to watch all his. He used to get on there and do like morning motivation shit. Back when he was smoking blunts heavy, he would get on there every morning and smoke a blunt, say a little, half positive, half funny shit. So I always fucked with him on that. I still ask him now why he don't do that shit. There's a lot of shit. I became a fan of him through his social media work. But I knew Chico from actually pulling up. Them your partners? I know that nigga. Who that nigga? I fuck with them. All right, so we all partners and shit like that. So it all started organically of us organically fucking with each other's style and humor and shit like that.
Whose idea was the 85 South Show? I remember Karlous hitting me saying he wanted to start a podcast. Yeah. And I feel like he said DC was going to be a part of it.
Most definitely. But it started, I didn't know how to formulate the shit. Like me and Chad and Joe and Kat and shit, I think Ryan, we were trying to find the sauce to put this shit together. Like we had DJ Mars, some cute little chick who was so lively off camera. Like, she'll be perfect. Man, we turned the camera on, she turned stone.
Great goggles.
So that was the first iteration.
She literally couldn't formulate a sentence. She couldn't move. And
we were shooting like a what they call them, air checks. We were shooting a radio show because we didn't know what a podcast was. And we tried to go all around the city just to get somebody local to pick it up, and they wasn't really feeling it. So that's when Los was saying, he kept saying the word podcast, so we had to go Google what an actual podcast was.
And that's still to this day, that's why I always be like, this podcast is for people who don't know.
We was like, internet radio was a thing too, but we didn't really understand what that was either. So we just started following whatever a podcast was.
And then in between those couple of little, studio sessions, that's when that shit came out that he said. And then we linked up one day in December. Right at the end of December, we recorded a couple episodes, and then we dropped that shit on Christmas 2015, and just been on it ever since.
It was just you and DC at the time?
At first, because Chico don't live in North Carolina.
I mean, I don't live in Atlanta, but in
Atlanta. He was
I was calling in, like, talking shit, like, oh, you niggas just think you gonna start some shit without me. I was calling in, like, y'all niggas better tell me where the studio is. So I was just calling in from where I was at, making sure that, just to ingratiate myself with what was going on, but also just to, bring a different element to, what was going on. Because every time they would record, I would call and cuss them out and be like, man, where you niggas at? You know what I mean?
Because they'll tell you, anytime I'm not on camera or doing any work, you pull up at my house, I'm probably watching media. That's all I fucking do is just watch media, good shit, bad shit. I remember I used to watch a lot of Taxstone, Lord Sear, Rude Jude, Brilliant Idiots, shit, Breakfast Club. I just like to listen to shit. Like me and Chico, for the longest before we got to this level of our career, we preferred to drive to shows. We would do the show and just, anything under 6 hours.
8 hours.
Yeah, anything 6 to 8 hours, we going home right after that show.
After the show.
So it was always like a need to, it was like people would offer us flights and be like, no, we driving. Because we know as soon as we get off this stage at 10 o'clock, we headed straight back to the crib. Or whatever time it is. We might chop it up for an hour or so, but we driving. And it's like, you can only listen to so much music. So that's when I started really getting heavy onto the media and the podcasting and shit like that.
I wanted to ask y'all about that, because coming from a stand-up background, what made y'all, know y'all need to get into media? How did you know, like, that this was the platform that would take y'all to another level? A podcast or something in the audio space?
Well, I know when we first started, what stuck out, Karlous was like, just it's a podcast. And everybody, what's a podcast? It's like radio. It's like undetected radio.
Without
it's
the music.
uncensored radio. It's range. It's just like radio, but we got the free range to say whatever and do whatever. He like, you can practice on your timing, your punches, and you're constantly talking.
So just getting used to hearing your voice on the mic.
I never, once I started, now I believe in whatever I say. I ain't scared to say it. And it came from this podcast. So I'm like, nigga, even on stage to this day, if I want to say it, I'm going to say it because I've been trained and conditioning myself from this podcast. And we never knew what a podcast was. You know what I'm saying? And to have 3 comedians to do radio, because it's technically radio. It's kind of like ironic, but it's a beautiful thing at the same time.
Yeah, it'd be too much to be a radio show to have 3 comedians.
We keep it, and it's uncensored, and we can really say what the fuck we've.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's a podcast. I make sure that breath clear. My bad.
Yeah.
But we can really say what we want to say, but also formulate and condition our craft at the same time. And it also got me better on stage.
How did you know, Los?
How did I know?
And this is going to be the platform to take y'all to another level. You and Chad, when y'all...
Because it was there. It was already there. We just had to fine tune it and find the right elements to do it. Because even like you said, even the shit we did in the beginning wasn't terrible. It just wasn't packaged right. We didn't have the right elements together. And I was like, I don't have to go find nobody. I can bring my friends in here. I know guys who would be perfect for this. Like, just by the conversations that we have off camera, the shit that we talk about, the scenarios that, like, we missing shows or pulling up late. You know, there's so much shit that goes with that. So I just knew that once we got the right people with the right flow, right timing, it was going to take off.
Did it kind of formulate itself? Because like you said, Chico was calling in.
Everything came in. We never like denied nothing. We allowed everything to play out and what it was. And we was just like accepted to like, this what it is. This, okay, we're going to rock with this. If this what's going on, we're going to rock with this. All right, bet. We're going to run with that and we're going to formulate that. And before you know it, we all looking at each other and we're like,
this the one.
This it?
This it.
Yeah, this the one.
Shit, I feel good about this. How you feel? I feel great.
Yeah, I remember me and Chad had that conversation. I don't remember where we was at, but we had just did some show somewhere. One of them ones where we still was getting paid in paper bags and shit. And you know, me and Chad was talking to him after the show and was like, man, this the formula right here. This it. This the one.
How do you know, Chad?
Man, to be real, I used to work for Steve Harvey, so I tell
remember.
people that was like
he never told nobody.
that was like a masterclass in how to leverage your talent and build a bunch of business around it. So what I would tell them was, you know, it's not that, you know, you can argue your favorite comedians from the 90s all day, but what Steve did was he took the business route first, and then he leveraged the Steve Harvey Radio Network to sell television, to sell books, to sell audio, to sell out shows. Bacon. He was selling bacon at one point. And then he would tell us all the time, Steve Harvey, the comedian, the business conversations changed once he became Steve Harvey, the co-founder, Steve Harvey, the executive producer. So even when we built this business, we all came in as co-founders, all came in as executive producers and partners. So it's just a different conversation. It just opens up different doors. So we knew if we leverage the podcast as the rocket ship, it'll put us up here and we can leverage that for all the other, you know, opportunities that we can create from there.
See, that's a full circle joint though, because it's like, how can you imagine, like, one of my closest partners worked with one of the biggest talents in my field. And he's been over there doing big business for them, closing deals and all of that shit. So it's like, we ain't on that level, but we going to that level.
Absolutely.
So we can meet in the middle and do business. Yeah. You got the experience of this big shit, but let's build our own shit. It ain't gonna be as complicated or as complex, but eventually we can have an empire too.
Yeah. And you know, he's just speaking to Steve in particular, he's somebody who is, you know, gave us that ability to be able to know that what we're doing is on that level because, you know, it's no different than you. You know, you don't have to let a person know. Opportunity don't always come with a check. Sometimes it just comes with, hey, man, I see you. You know what I mean? It's just being in that vantage point of certain people. And once we got that confirmation throughout time, it's been different confirmations. But this past time that we went to Steve's radio show and he was like, man, y'all doing some shit. And I'm talking about it with all of these different people, all of these legendary comedians. And we like, man, we don't know how them niggas is doing this shit.
And they wanted to try it.
And they always wanted to do it, and they always wanted to try it. But it's the same, it goes from, man, what them niggas doing to, I don't know what them niggas doing.
Yeah.
Like, that's a hell of a transition, because those same people that'll, and he's honest enough to tell us that, man, I ain't think this shit was going to work when y'all first started doing it.
Right.
So now it's like, man, how do y'all do it? To get to that point, that transitional period, like, that's something that lets us know that, like I said, we're doing some shit that's never been done before.
And to pick back up off what Chico said is back then it was more so me, my shine. Niggas scared that somebody else who's a great comedian to come take the people who follow, because at that time we ain't have no social media, because who could follow me and then follow you. Or he can follow anybody he like, but everybody that's in that crowd, nigga, these my people that I brought out. Right. That's how they were looking at it. Them my money. Now it's to the point where it's like, we don't care about that. We all know that everybody got their special powers, but this is a unit thing. And it feels great when you can do this and be this powerful with your friends and with your brothers. And it's like, yeah, everybody got their own special, unique power skills, but it's like, nigga, it's the principle that we doing it together. It's always going to be better than what we do by ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Right. I watch y'all and y'all do it so effortlessly with no ego whatsoever. When y'all do have disagreements, how do y'all handle it?
We don't have no disagreements like that. It be, just little petty disagreements like, man, that is my lighter. Right. But we ain't never had no fallout. Like, man, y'all cut that shit out.
Right. No. It's never no falling out. But, we brothers.
Yeah.
We brothers. We grown men. It's testosterone. But it's never no physical altercation. It's, all right, well, I don't understand it. Help me understand it how you understand it. Right. And then we sit down as a group and as a unit and be like, look, this is what's going on. All right, we're like, all right. Well, how about this? How about this? How you feel? Yeah. Okay, look, we'll do it like this so you can feel good. Just to show you, bro, we want to make sure everybody is comfortable at all times, because first of all, we are not breaking up. Mm-hmm. I don't give it. 2023. 2085, we're going to still be doing this.
Right.
We're not going nowhere. It's never going to be a time where somebody gonna get too big and it won't be the 85 South.
In 2085, y'all should make all y'all money for real.
I mean,
Ain't no 85 South without the 85 South.
I'm 111 years old.
Right, you know what I mean? But, those types of conversations, it's different. I always say, coming from the environment that I come from, you can tell who really fuck with each other, who don't. Right. You know what I mean? Some people...
Hold up, before I gotta say it. I told Chico before we recorded any fucking thing, I said, bro, if we do anything, it's gonna work. He said, why? I said, because in this industry, in the comedy world, there ain't 3 people that you can find that authentically fuck with each other outside of some money. I told him that.
Yeah, he definitely did. And when you think about it from that perspective, coming from the type of environments that we come from, when niggas fuck with you and when you don't. Some motherfuckers are just sitting around waiting to have a problem and waiting to beef and waiting to say something disrespectful. That's not the element amongst us. We love each other. So if it's anything that we don't agree upon, it's something that happens right then, right there, and we are able to sit down, no matter if we got to sit down for 3.5 hours and talk about it. We're going to do that. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to be something that, and we're not the type of people that are going to express inside issues outside. Mm-hmm. Some shit stay in the house. Right. You know what I mean? Some things don't go outside the door. No matter how we can be yelling at each other about some shit or mad about some shit amongst each other, but you ain't gonna know about it because it's our business, because that's love. But if we ain't really fuck with each other, then you'll see a motherfucker, yeah, man, you already know, man.
Nigga ain't tagging me in the shit.
You think nigga love you, man, but look,
the crazy part about it, and I just thought about this when you spoke, to be honest, if you even look at our company, it's rarely that everybody's from the same spot. We got a group of people that's from different states. He's from Mississippi. He's from D.C. Mm-hmm. I'm from Atlanta. From New Orleans. From California. Mm-hmm. We ain't grow up with each other. Mm-hmm. We trust each other. That's the major point. Not only do we trust each other, we trust each other's vision. Mm-hmm. We trust each other's dreams, because you may have a vision that can impact every last one of our vision. That's really what the 85 South Show really burnt from. It came from somebody having a vision, and once we added to the vision, now we saw what he see, or saw what they see. Now let's add what we see.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all the 85 South doing. It's a collective of a lot of different people that's adding vision to one main vision.
And we share the wealth.
Yeah, when I look at y'all, man, it's like Wu-Tang, right? Because it ain't just the three of y'all. It's you got Clayton English, you got Nav Green, you got Moneybag Mafia. Four Minds. Was that the initial vision to bring all of those people in?
Yes, because all those people that you named, they bring something to the table that we don't bring.
Right.
Like everybody, like you said, everybody got their own weapons, their own talents, and they individuals. So it's like we fans too. We still love this entertainment industry.
Right.
It's still new to us. It's still like exciting. So to see these people come up and just know that, yeah, come on, do this. We can't take credit for nobody's talent. Right. All we can do is put you on this platform in front of these 85%ers that love us. Mm-hmm. If they love us and we love you, they gonna love you too.
I mean, we didn't all remember, but the thing is, we done been doing that from the jump. Like, that's something that, you know, even if you look at like me coming out of when I started in North Carolina with the freestyle funny comedy show, an improv troupe I started with, like all of them except for one of my partners that got on Wild 'N Out because of what we did in that environment.
That's B-Dot,
Darren, right. Burp, you know, all of them were cast members because, you know, they got to a point where they understood that, okay, if I show up and do what it is that I know I can do, I know that when he's there, he's doing everything he's supposed to do to make the environment curated for somebody like me. Mm-hmm. And he's not going to stand in the way and be like, nigga, it's my shine. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we've always been that way. Like, in everything that we do, all of our partners have at least got an audition, if not been on the show, because of what we've done. And this is the first opportunity that we got. And like you said, most motherfuckers is like, nigga, my time to shine. You niggas stand behind me, and you know what I mean? But we've never been like that. So once we created our own platform, that's who we are anyway. Come on, Slim. Come on, all the way. Do your thing.
Please do your thing.
Do your thing.
Somebody.
Chad, how do you keep all that together, man?
I wish I could take a lot of credit. We pay some 25 plus people, you know, so we got a whole crew, a whole staff that's running day to day and checking in. And I think keeping it together is just making sure we set the tone and the precedence of our expectation. So
I called Chad about 10 times. Literally.
Yeah. Chico got 1,000 ideas, Fly checking on money every other day, and Los want to talk 10 times a day. And Ryan's calling.
I don't make it seem like I'm checking on the money. I'm helping with the money. I'm facilitating how it goes. You know, people that Fly be calling Chad about his money.
No, about the money, the company money. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But keeping it together is really not hard because I'm dealing with people that want to be the best version of themselves every day. So I don't really get the opportunity to not be inspired by that or not have a precedent that's already set. So it's not hard. And plus, I love this, man. It's like, I love business. Like, I'm a nerd for business, dog. I'm not like somebody that's frustrated about waking up at 6 to get the job done, you know? I enjoy it.
Let's talk about some of the nerd shit for the next generation of personalities watching, right? Like, now y'all started with audio and video or just audio?
Just audio first.
Just audio first.
Just audio first.
Audio.
Because you know, that's two totally different audiences.
Right.
You might, the video may do 1 million, but the audio may do 6 because it's more like there are places where there are certain pockets of, you know, this market that people don't have the opportunity to sit down and literally watch this shit. They would work in a warehouse or they drive a truck, so they can listen to this shit all day on a loop. You know what I mean? So we once we figured out that these are two totally different markets, we had to do both.
So when y'all decided to start saying, you know what, let's shoot the trap instead of just putting it out audio-wise?
It might have been like a year later. Only because Fly's comedy is so physical that you have to
see it.
Yeah, you have to experience it differently.
Right.
And then his comedy has Los and Chico jumping in a whole nother thing. So, and then I was in the 90s, you watch Oprah and you're like, it's people on the couch talking, you know, so we just created our version of that. So,
and it also helped me because when we was doing the podcast and Los know how to talk.
Yeah.
He ain't really got to do too much. He be like, he funny, but I'm like, damn, I don't talk how he talk. And I can't try to do what he does because he do what he does. So online, the audio may sound like, well, who the hell the loud nigga is doing all? But if you would have saw me, you would have understood what I was doing. So it kind of helped me even be better as a performer. And the podcast also helped me to be able to formulate and talk my joke out before I even do an action.
Man, that's interesting DC said that, because I remember when I used to have DC on Uncommon Sense, that's what the execs used to say. We don't understand him. We don't understand what he's saying. And I used to be like, yo, 66% of all black people live in the South. Trust me, they gonna understand the words that are coming out of his mouth.
And I never understood that because I've been in the South so long. Right. So when I started going to different places, and they like, huh? It didn't offend me, but I used to be like, what you hun me for if you heard what the fuck I just said? They like, bro, we ain't heard now correct word or grammar came out your goddamn mouth. And that's when I had to learn, like, I need to know how to enunciate. Talk.
Enunciate. Huh? That nigga said enunciate.
I mean, but I knew what he meant though.
Exactly.
But you see,
that's the point
it's
that
just
I was
the
making.
inflection.
You know what I mean?
You said
nigga make it seem like I said it wrong, but I said it right because of my speech.
I remember Joey IE, man. Joey IE used to work at I forgot what label Joey IE was at, but I remember one time I was shopping this artist from South Carolina. He said to me, "Can he talk?" I said, "What do you mean, can he talk?" He said, "Can he talk like how T.I. can talk?"
Right.
Like,
no, he cannot. No, don't ever compare nobody to
T.I. That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, you yourself said you had to overcome that coming from South Carolina, Moncks Corner, and getting on the radio. And then it was different back then because it was just the voice. You know what I mean? You was back in the Michael Baisden era and all that when it was straight radio. So, like, you know, having to overcome whatever those things are, you know what I mean? We all went through that. Like, when we first got on at Wild 'N Out, they're like, well, what do you guys do? Like, what can we expect from you? What do y'all do? What do you guys do? Like, what are you known for? It was like, man, turn the cameras on. Like, I show you what I do. But just getting somebody to understand it and respect it enough to give you that shot. Now, you got to take advantage of it when you get it. But people never going to understand. I'm sure the people at Netflix was like, what is this? Mm-hmm. As they were watching it and screening it, like, what is this? What is this?
I don't get it.
I don't understand.
I mean, it looks good.
It's shot well, but what is it? And now is number one, and they don't care what it is after that point. So all you need is the opportunity. Like, give me the opportunity. It's like what KD say about basketball. Like, Mo, you skinny. You're so small, man. Give me the ball, blow the whistle, and I show you what I do.
Because you know what? They don't have to try to persuade people to like us. They didn't understand. We're trying to persuade people that it's actually people who rock with us. Absolutely. And they like, well, we don't understand. And now when you see it, they go number one. It's like, you don't have to understand because in your line of work, you never are there negotiating. You just want to know how much they need to go number one again. Mm-hmm. A lot.
Yeah. That's right. And it's so funny. It's because it's like, this is our company and this is our business. But even if we dropped the episode and that shit did one view, so the fuck what? Like, we're not invested to the point where this shit can break our heart. No. Like, this is fun. This is what we put this together. This is, it's not necessarily a hobby, but this is not the end of us by any means. This is 1/99th of the talents that we have. You get what I'm saying? And it's just that's the fun, the best thing to me about it is that I know that we can't fail.
All right, let's take a break from this great conversation with the 85 South Show to talk about Talkspace. Do you think seeing a therapist or psychiatrist would be helpful, but you don't have the time to actually find one and meet with them or afford them? Try Talkspace. By doing everything online, Talkspace has made getting the help you want easy, accessible, and affordable, and Talkspace takes most insurance. At Talkspace.com, you can sign up online and get a personalized match with a therapist who's right for you, typically within 48 hours. It's incredibly convenient to have virtual sessions with your licensed therapist from the comfort of your home. Talkspace lets you send messages to your therapist anytime, and they reply so you don't have to wait for your next season. You send messages to your therapist anytime and they reply so you don't have to wait for your next session. Talkspace can help with any specific challenges you might be facing. It's the #1 online therapy platform with licensed therapists with more than 150 areas of specialization, including anxiety, depression, substance abuse, relationship issues, and much more. Talkspace is secure and private using the latest end-to-end bank-grade encryption technology and complies with the latest HIPAA regulations. Talkspace is affordable, and unlike many online therapy providers, Talkspace is in-network with most major insurers. If your plan covers Talkspace, you'll only pay a copay, typically around $25. As a listener of this podcast, you'll get $100 off of your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com/idiots. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com/idiots to get $100 off your first month and show your support for the show. That's Talkspace.com/idiots. The Brilliant Idiots this week is also brought to you by Molson Coors, man. Thank you, Molson Coors, for always supporting the Brilliant Idiots. You do know summer is when you get to be your real self. So cool off with the only spiked lemonade that has real fruit flavor, Simply Spiked. Simply Spiked lemonades, ready to drink spiked lemonades, broke the internet when they dropped 4 bold, refreshing flavors last summer. Get real with signature lemonade, strawberry lemonade, blueberry lemonade, and watermelon lemonade, all with the taste of real fruit juice. And by popular demand, 4 fan favorite peach flavors are now also part of the Simply Spiked family. Get juicy with signature peach, strawberry peach, kiwi peach, and mango peach, okay? All flavors of Simply Spiked are crafted with 5% ABV and 5% real fruit juice squeezed and concentrated. Summer's getting juicy. Go to drinksimplysspiked.com/idiots to find out how to get your hands on Simply Spiked lemonade and new Simply Spiked peach. That's drinksimplysspiked.com/idiots, okay? Flavored beer, naturally flavored with other natural flavors, simplyspiked.com. Simply Spiked Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Celebrate responsibly. Simply Spiked is a trademark of the Simply Orange Juice Company. Now let's get back to the show. Church announcements. Real quick, man, I just want to tell y'all, make sure you go to the andrewschulz.com to see where Andrew Schulz is going to be. Andrew Schulz has launched his tour. He's selling out everywhere, and we want to see you in some of these arenas that Schulz is selling out. So make sure you go to the andrewschulz.com to see where Andrew Schulz is going to be. I want to tell y'all to make sure to go get your tickets for the International African American Museum in Charleston, South Carolina, man. We had the grand opening last weekend. It was an amazing event. It officially opened to the public on June 27th, this past Tuesday, and it's built on Gadsden's Wharf. Gadsden's Wharf is where they say, I can't remember the exact number, but it's like 50% of all enslaved, I think it's 48.1% of all enslaved Africans came through Gadsden's Wharf. So if you shake your family tree from South Carolina, probably going to fall out, man. So go home and go to the International African American Museum. You can go get your tickets at the IAAM.com website, okay? I'm doing some real special things there before the year is over, and I can't wait to talk to you about them. And I also want to tell you to make sure you go out there and pre-order Invisible Generals, okay? That is one of the latest releases coming out on my book imprint, Black Privilege Publishing, through Simon & Schuster. It's by my guy, Doug Melville. Salute to Doug Melville. Invisible Generals is the amazing true story of America's first Black generals, Benjamin O. Davis Sr. and Jr., a father and son who helped integrate the American military and create the famous Tuskegee Airmen, man. So you can go pre-order that everywhere you buy books right now. Now let's get back into our conversation with the 85 South Show. When y'all started doing video, how fast did things take off? Because I feel like everything shifted once y'all started putting the video up.
Man, what video did was, well, on the business side, we said on the production side, it forced us to be better producers. Because what we would do is just cut the mics on, and they so talented. We're not really doing that. So then on the production side, now you're starting to figure out what's going on in the world, so you can start to feed them some stuff to help them out. Now you're starting to bring on different guests that can help, that can integrate into the show properly. And then, on the post-production side, now you're learning programming on what shows should come out on that you can hold on to that's evergreen, or what shows should come out because Trump said something crazy or whatever happened crazy into the world. So video made us a better production company. It didn't really take off for real until we started posting the live shows, which maybe was 3 or 4 years later.
And like I said, that's still a whole separate element of the show.
So the live podcast was doing better video-wise than
the live shows.
We started doing, man, that
do 10 times the views of anything.
Once we went live and did the shows that way, it was like, I think it was because that element of the part that people have never seen before. It was like, what is this?
Yeah,
you became intrigued by it.
Because, in comedy, that routine you might have worked on for a year, once it leaks, you got to start from scratch again. You may got to hit the comedy clubs again. But they were going off the top of the head, and it was like premium comedy every single time. People was tuning in. We would tell people we've been putting out Netflix specials forever.
Yeah.
Still is. We got Netflix special on YouTube right now.
Yeah, a bunch of them.
Yeah, and we were shooting them at the highest value that we could afford to shoot. So, they was, like Wayne was dropping mixtapes, we was dropping specials, That's how we kind of looked at it. And that's where the rocket ship came from.
I know the video, so the audio started off kind of slow, then the video came out, the video took off.
The live show is what took everything.
Yeah,
the audios went crazy, but we read, I don't want to say we read comments. We like to see what our feedback is. And they like, man, I wish y'all would come here and I wish y'all would come there. Right. And I remember the first time they were like, y'all want to go live? I was like, because I'm still trying to be a comedian.
Mhm.
And I'm like, now you want me to go up there with motherfuckers?
Yeah.
I got to be a comedian on stage. But I'm like, okay, I did theater. And I've been on stage with people. But I've never been a comedian amongst other comedians besides acting with other actors. So it's like, okay, this is going to be challenging. And I like challenges. So I was like, I'm still trying to learn to be a comedian. But how can I be a good comedian amongst other comedians that's already solidified? So once we started doing that and people start coming, I was like, this could be your perfect way for you to just be yourself. The pressure's not on you. The pressure's not on them. It's a collective. All you got to do is just fill in whatever you think dry. And I know that he doing the same. Wherever he come in, I say, that's what he good at. That's what he good at. So you just got to find out where you good at. And my part was to sit there and say, okay, I'm great at physical.
Right.
I just be the physical guy. You know what I'm saying? But it's never a point where we feel like we done, bro. Cause we still finding out new shit every
time
day.
we hit the stage.
Started.
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, a few years ago, y'all, we partnered, with y'all at Black Effect, but just for the audio. Did you see a difference in how the podcast was received once the audio started taking off? Because once the audio numbers started matching the video numbers,
Yeah.
Did y'all see a difference?
Yeah, we definitely see a difference in the crowd, in the audience. You can look around at the shows and see the difference that it made. You know what I'm saying? Now it ain't just, oh, this our spot or we good over here. It's like we universally good. And every place that we haven't been, they waiting on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how do we do this? How we gonna go everywhere? And definitely being a part of like the Black Effect and that family and that group of talent, y'all got access to people who, like you said, who may not be familiar with what's going on in the heart of the deep, dirty South. They might have called to listen to the Tesla or, you know what I mean? And then 85 might have snuck in there and they left it on. And it's like, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave us we have our own platform, but y'all got a big platform over there also. You on one of the biggest shows in America.
The biggest
every
show.
morning. So it's like, just to have that cosign and for you to bring us into y'all world definitely had an impact on what we do.
I showed you and Chad earlier, like since the Netflix special came out, y'all numbers like tripled for the week.
Oh, yeah.
Like y'all on just the podcast audio, like tripled for the week.
I'll tell you, like, we never not valued audio. It's just that we didn't understand the value of it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And because when you're growing a company, you got to put all your effort to what's making the most money. So if touring and a live show was making all the money for 3-4 years.
That's the baby.
Yeah, so you just focus here. So what it's done is the relationship with y'all, we've hired more audio people. Now we have people that are mixing and mastering and post-production. Stuff that you just crack the mic and you drop it in the feed and it's all good. We put that much reinvestment back into audio. I'll say that, knowing that.
Y'all did something that was so smart, man. I think it's genius because I keep telling folks you can't solely rely on YouTube.
No.
And you can't turn YouTube into a real business.
No.
You know what I mean? Because you don't own it.
Because it's at their discretion.
That's right.
Yeah.
They could flag your videos. They could not pay you. They could. But that's the part that was so frustrating to me, though. It's like, if this video was so bad that it's flagged and it's not monetized, why y'all just didn't take it down?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, now I guess with this whole ad revenue thing, it's like people are asking the same questions. It's like, you want to demonetize it, but you see these views is ran up. Somebody got paid.
That's right.
And they're using the numbers to go get some more money.
Yeah.
And it's really it's straining the hell out of these creators too. Cause it's like, bro, you took your first big YouTube check and you invested in some equipment. And now them checks, you thinking it's going to be another 50, 60, 70.
Yep.
And then your October payout wasn't but 7,000. Now you upside down. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So just to have that platform and to be owned, like to own it and to be independent and to know that none of that shit is gonna happen. We gonna be monetized either way. We good.
Y'all took y'all content off YouTube. I want to pull up one of those things you was referencing. You was referencing they reported this week in the Wall Street Journal. Let me pull it up. It says
YouTube violated their own terms of their ad.
80% of the ads YouTube serves across the web have violated their own terms of service and are therefore subject to refunds. So Google Ads is going to have to pay out billions of dollars in YouTube ads. And then there was another one that said YouTube creators say video revenue down up to 90%. Something is definitely off. So you can't rely on YouTube to be a business. But what y'all did was take y'all video content off YouTube and start y'all own app.
Chad, to tell you, we didn't even speak to like no YouTube reps until we made the announcement that we going with the ads. Then they sent a whole team down and tried to, this won't happen to you guys. We didn't know that you were doing these numbers, and we're so glad to have you on our team. We're like, okay, we still not rocking with that.
Hold on, speak to that. So hold up, wait a minute. So, what y'all called YouTube customer service or something?
No, they called us.
They called us. Listen, bro, for 2 to 3 years, we would sit down every couple months. Well, we need to put out more content. We need short form because they come up with new rules for YouTube every time. Right. And bro, at one point, I remember Fly was like, bro, we giving them too much. Like, it doesn't matter. So we started diving back into the analytics, and you could have a great month, especially during the holiday season from October all the way to January, rocket ship numbers, you thinking this is normal. But come March, April, May, you're like, bro, what are we doing? And nothing has changed as far
to
as
the point where we be like, man, just y'all can have the YouTube.
Yeah, like it's not even there's no rhyme or reason. So we finally, especially during the pandemic, we put our heads around launching our own platform. As soon as we launched that platform, YouTube reaches out to us. And, we started some conversations thinking, well, everything's going to be good. Maybe we'll put regular content over here and premium content over there. Man, 3 months later, still same stuff. So eventually, I tell people there's value in YouTube, but the value, you can't, what you just said, you can't build a core business model around. There's no like model you can create because you really have no idea how much money you about to make.
Not unless you Mr. Beast or somebody.
Yeah, like you don't even really know.
Yeah, I mean, you never really know. You know what I mean? You can't determine what it is. They determine you get paid. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the difficult things about any platform that you're not in control of. It's like, well, what do you get? Well, you get what we get you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And, if we decide to give you a little bit more or a little bit less, that's what you get.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you're able to, be able to see the numbers, you're able to, understand from a perspective, it makes it even easier to go back and have those conversations with the big platforms, the Netflixes and the YouTubes. It's like, okay, we already have an understanding of what these numbers are and how these people are affected by the content that we're putting out based on these numbers. Mm-hmm. What can you offer us? It changes the meeting, if you will. You don't go in like, you know what I mean? What can we do for you? Is what can you do for us?
Then once you find out that they know how to manipulate these numbers however they want to manipulate it, that's crazy. Because like you said, it ain't no rhyme or reason, or you can't sit there and come up with a formula and say, I'm going to drop a video every day for 30 days. That's 30 videos a month. So I should make this. It just don't work like that.
They just give you the money and you be happy here. You like, all right, but you ain't questioning nothing. You like, how did y'all come up with this number? Nobody cares. It's like streaming service. Mm-hmm. Like the music game. Come on, man. Yeah. You got to get almost 30,000 streams just to get $5. So who really getting all the money before you get your $5?
That's right.
I've been on call with their experts, and their experts, there's only so much answering they can do until they start giving generic information. And at that point, I'm like, they don't even give you the information, So at that point, how much more investment are we going to make into this platform?
So what do y'all use YouTube for?
Distribution and promotion.
Yeah, we still have
what everybody else using it for.
We still got a big fan base over there that just refuses to, physically subscribe and support.
I don't know what it just takes time. You know what I mean? You get somebody something for free, and then it don't matter if you come back charging $1 for it. $1. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like exactly. Like, so if you can, if we continue to be, and this Netflix, I think is going to be a big, piece in getting those YouTube people to subscribe, because they once you get to a platform like Netflix and people start talking about something, you be like, oh, wait a minute, motherfucker, right. You talking to me about some shit I've been knew about. Well, did you know about this? And then you're like, you know what? Fuck, I'm gonna pay that little $8.99 so I don't miss out on nothing no more, because these niggas playing with me like I ain't been down with these motherfuckers for the last 6-7 years.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine that though? We get 2.5 million people to go subscribe to our app.
Yeah. How many of y'all got now?
We don't want to talk about it because we don't want nobody trying to add nothing.
That nigga be unsubscribing. Oh, well, shit, you don't need my $8.
So y'all can put clips on YouTube now.
Yeah, well, what
No,
we
we put
do
shows.
is
Teasers.
we still put shows. We'll put one studio show that's an hour long on the platform. But we also have advertising, video advertising partnerships where they may want integrated marketing or product placement or a 30-second read. But now, as we are...
And we did 80 Vibe. You know what I'm saying?
And
we did 80
introduced
Vibe.
new shows through there as well, just to get like an idea of what people will respond to. But like new talent, like Nav has a show that we partner with him, a sports show on Broken Play that we put through YouTube, because you still want to take advantage of...
It's a digital billboard.
Yeah,
you use it to build shit up.
But we don't have like core financial dependency on it. Yeah. It just is what it is.
When y'all started the Channel 85 app, a lot of people be scared to put their content behind a paywall because they don't know if they'll lose their audience or people will pay for it. Did y'all feel that way?
No, because we have a community. I don't even really like to say fans, because I tell people in business, the hardest part in business, especially in our age, is getting somebody to transact. So if you can get them to buy merchandise or subscribe to a newsletter or buy a ticket or purchase behind the paywall, this is your real community. So those 2.5 million or 10 million followers you got on Instagram,
watching.
That's not real. People that really transact with you are the people you want to build.
And that's the beauty of what we do. Like when Lo said the Avengers, like that's real, because you look at the Avengers, you got Iron Man and Thor and all these people that they had their own movie, but when they the Avengers, and it's the same thing about us individually. We go and do a comedy club in the weekend and sell however many tickets. That's a section in one of these arenas we're doing now. You know what I mean? So when we come together, it's like everybody that, no matter who they like, you know what I'm saying? You like all of us together, but if you like one of us individually, you're not going to say, I'm not going to see Thor because Iron Man is, you know what I mean? You're not going to do that. You're going to go see both of them. And
I love that. I love when motherfuckers be like, man, Chico the funniest one. DC the funniest one. I be like, I agree.
Me too.
Right. I want to be around motherfuckers like they make me laugh.
Exactly.
These are my top two niggas.
These my partners.
How you going to... Nigga, I know. I knew before you knew.
Exactly.
Y'all gonna make it to the point where comedians gonna have to click up. So what are the keys to keeping a healthy brotherhood throughout all of the business?
Keep God first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Keep God first, and knowing that, like you say, man, respecting each other's value and respecting each other's understanding. And, because this is how it started. It never was a starter of us coming together and be like, let's put all our ideas together and we just create it. It was just like, okay, you want to do that? I rock with you. Okay, but look, I want to add this too. You rock with it? Bad. What about you? This shit you want to do? I rock with it. We're never denying anything or any suggestion that anybody brings to the table, bro. And I feel like we don't have a blueprint of how a successful business starts and how do we prolong it and keep it going. So we're learning every day through the experiences. We're learning every day from our ups and downs and our trials. But at the end of the day, we keep God first and we like, look, bro, we're hearing it from the people that hasn't been done before. So we got something.
Right.
How long do we want it? All right, we hear them. How long do we want to do this? Forever? Forever. So we got to keep that forever energy.
It's been dope just trying to see how many other things we can run through our brand and our business.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, of course, it's the live shows, it's the merch, it's the brand, it's the studio. But it's like, how much other shit can we put under this umbrella? Are we going to be the only ones that benefit off of our brand?
Right.
No, we're going to branch out and we're going to help build out the poor mindset and help them build their core audience and find a place for Nav and his show. And we're going to try a whole bunch of different things. They might not all work, but we're going to have them under our own terms and we're going to find out the best way that works for us.
Motherfucker Clayton. Y'all keep saying the Avengers. Clayton was one on the Avengers.
Yeah.
Clayton was all that.
Clayton was all
And it's really ego control, man. Everybody got their ego in control. It's not about you and being
People
able
see
to
the bigger picture.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, if you have, I think that's what hindered the ones before us. Everybody ego was so, I got to have this, like, you know what I mean?
I'll give
Having
you
a
a perfect example, bro. Look at Joe. Joe just laid out chilling. He had weed in his pocket and grew his hair out. His beard is big. He don't got a care in the fucking world. He might stay in New York 2-3 weeks after this. Like that's when it started hitting me. When I said this somewhere the other day, it's like when you start seeing your friends quit their job and live their dreams, they don't have to go do shit else. That's when you know you making strides.
Yeah, I was when we was out to eat one night, I saw Nav. Nav was eating his food. Nav said, "Hey man, anytime Chico don't show up, just let me know." He was like, that check was something serious.
When we did the Black Effect thing.
The podcast. Oh yeah, all the way. Yeah,
y'all ain't fuck with me.
I was about to say, why that nigga pick me?
I was out of town.
You ain't called me, nigga.
Anytime Chico don't show up, let me know.
They had shows.
Yeah, shows. Yeah.
Well, let me decline, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
I probably could decline that show and came on here.
Charlamagne do you like that, my nigga. This nigga do you like that. He'll look out for you, but he also do you like that.
No, we reached out to 85 South.
You know what I mean?
No, you know, once somebody from 85 South win, we all win.
And then it ain't just you. Dolly cuss me out about that shit every time. Anytime I miss anything that's black, she be like, nigga. I'm like, yes, ma'am. I just, you know, because you already know with her, like, we done been locked in for so long, she gonna call me directly and cuss me out. It ain't gonna be no business call. It's gonna, like, y'all know the business Dolly. Like, I know the real Dolly. Like,
I love that, too, about how you built the Black Effect, too, because you went and grabbed Rachel and the Dolly, and it's like, bro, we knew how dope they were when we first, started working with them. And for you to have to come and recognize, like, y'all got way more talent and way more skills than what they using y'all for. So I respect it and I commend it. I want to salute
family. I remember when Rachel was Candida's secretary 12 years ago.
And Dolly was Nick's secretary.
Dolly's assistant, word up. I used to sit in the edit bay with them back in the day. But you could just see it. You know, same thing you probably saw in Chad. Like, you know Chad is executive level.
Bro, I didn't know at first.
You didn't know?
You see how you just laughed? That's all the fuck Chad used to do in our job,
we
bro.
used to try to sell sneakers together and sell cell phones, and I ain't really sell nothing, dog. Just laughing at him.
Because this nigga don't give a fuck about nothing, bro. Like, this nigga,
he has changed so much,
you know
bro.
how a cat is just disinterested with everything. Like, you can't impress no cat. Like, it don't matter what's going on. This nigga be sitting there.
He didn't give a flying fuck.
Like, bro, we do it. Yeah, good job.
What you was doing with Steve when I met you, Chad? Photography, right?
Yeah, I was.
Fuck you.
I worked hard when I worked with Steve. That's why I got fired. I was like overly ambitious. But me and Joe ran all of his digital. So anything that you saw come out from his Twitter, newsletter, YouTube, we shot it, produced it.
I knew it was
and we
camp.
was publishing everything. Yeah. That's why I met Charlamagne at Steve's camp.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was like 10 years ago, 8 years ago. Yeah.
How important is ownership to y'all? Because y'all have always been big on ownership.
You can't get kicked out and can't nobody buy you.
You know that. We have,
ladies and gentlemen, DC YoungFly.
I'm big on that ball shit. Fuck what a nigga talking about.
I have a strange relationship with getting fired. Yeah. So
is some sort of ownership mandatory in all y'all deals, or is it something?
Yes, because black people don't own shit, and we watch all our heroes die broke damn near.
I agree.
You get what I'm saying? You don't own nothing.
They told you couldn't do what got you on. They like, stop doing that. You like, why? Because we own it now.
Equity is important in everything. If you can get some equity, man, like, you know, I forget what's my man name, Jason Weaver, how his mama was smart enough to be able to get that back end deal. Like, and you, exactly. You think about those, like those type of deals and that type of insight to have. Like, if you go in, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like what Magic did with Converse when he signed, you know, how his deal worked.
He was getting $800 every year.
And now he get $32 million on the back end. Like, that's something you want to be the case. So but it's hard though. It's hard for niggas to come in and not take that lump sum up front. Because if you ain't never had something,
they strain you all the way out and they'll starve you out as artists, just like on Fight Club when they be like, you got to stand on the porch for a week. You got your boots, you got your pants, you got your t-shirt, you got your belt. Yeah. And they just leave you out there. That's exactly how they do you, man. They'll starve you out.
It's like financial literacy that we're not knowledgeable about, especially when you realize you like, they doing deals like that? And you like, yeah, you don't know, and it's like nobody put us up on game that those type of deals. We're being negotiated. We're negotiating, but they're playing hardball like it's all we got. And then you come to find out, you like, hold up. So they did a deal like that with y'all, but what was obligated? What was you obligated to do? And then when you realize, oh, we're doing over and beyond what we're obligated. So now we're just employees, and it's not a family situation. that's when you got to go for the bigger buck. You like, you know what? We got to go for the bang.
We knew ownership was important because they don't want to give nobody none.
Never.
They want to hire everybody, but they don't want to partner with nobody.
And see, but y'all put yourselves in a position you can't do anything but partner with y'all.
Exactly.
So how have the strategic partnerships y'all have done with like Netflix and Black Effect benefited the overall brand?
Man, I'll tell you, for the first 5 years, we were scared to partner with anybody because we didn't trust nobody.
I remember.
Yeah, like, it wasn't even that we was thinking about it. We was just like, bro.
Nigga trying to give us 3,000 an episode.
Yeah. Either we if this shit gonna sink is because we sank it type of thing, you know? I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Like, you was calling us before the pandemic, you know? And talking to you and, you know, some of the private conversations we had about the people that I admired versus, you know, how current modern business works and all those sort of things. And strategic partnerships, I think very specifically for Black companies, for independent companies, we need them because there's only so much money to go around for resources, and you don't recognize these are billion-dollar companies. So you may have a $10 million, $20 million company. That's cute. But if this company got $5 billion just to blow on money, you're never going to close any sort of gap. So strategic partnerships became important for us. As long as we knew it wasn't about the money, why are we partnering with these people? What is the value that we can bring together? And it has to feel like a legitimate partnership because a bunch of people approach us and they really just want us to work for them, but they just got a big old check. So strategic partnerships now are very important. Obviously, you see what Netflix has done for us. And the relationship with y'all has been very good, but we don't have a bunch of them. We got the right ones, if that makes sense.
Do you think y'all ever get to a point where opportunity is no longer an appropriate means of compensation?
No, we already have
bro.
No more.
Yeah, man.
Well, I mean, it depends on what the opportunity is, Charlamagne. You was over there on that boat with them white people, and then what type of opportunities they giving you?
No, they got all the money.
But what I'm saying is,
they don't need no opportunity.
if
I'm
I'm
saying,
saying
what
what
type
type
they
they
giving
giving
you?
some shit and be like, Los, it'd be a good look. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
See, until we start getting invited for golf tournaments,
Yeah, that type
That's
of
when
shit
it
you
start
get.
getting real,
Once we
you know
get to
what I
that
mean?
level, when they start inviting,
Yeah,
come on
invite
out
to
to
a golf tournament.
Canes.
Oh, yeah.
We have the yacht for a week. Come on out.
Steve doing it. I'm gonna be out there in November with Steve in Dubai.
See, we ain't
Well,
invited, so
the
that's
golf
what I'm
tournament,
saying. We got to get to the point where we get
to no
invited.
golf tournament in Dubai. They got golf courses in Dubai.
They got
Steve.
everything in
Yeah,
Dubai.
Yeah,
Steve
Steve.
Harvey do his own.
They
every
do it
year.
every
Invited
year,
to
yeah.
like the
He got a crib
the
out there.
domestic ones, not the international.
I don't think a nigga want to play. I said that to him at the golf tournament that he just had. They made me come up and do a speech. I was like, nigga, everybody keep talking about how hospitable you are. You ain't never did nothing but show me how much better you living than I am, nigga. You ain't invited me nowhere. You flying niggas to Dubai and all this type of shit, and you just want me to come see how much bigger your new house is?
Damn.
Fuck this. This ain't fair. You owe me, Mr. Hightower. Nigga, you need to stop making up for some of that old
He
shit.
said he'd do it just to get us in the room with.
Nah, he does.
No,
that.
No, that was
No,
it was dope. I will
it's
say, like, just
love.
being able to look around and see all them dudes that was famous when I was a little boy is like, it's surreal because you get the opportunity to get that level of confirmation that the people that you grew up with.
Y'all passing numbers around?
Man, you're a freak, my nigga. Something wrong with you.
Got cash numbers.
No, we ain't passing no cash
They just
numbers,
offered
but
this.
you know, you get the
my prize pick.
you get to get the confirmation that the people that you grew up loving love you, and that's you know, as far as outside of opportunity, that's something that makes you feel like, man, yeah, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing because you seeing people that was a world away from you. Like, these people was inside the box when I was a broke little boy in D.C. Right. And then they like, hey, man, we love what you're doing. I'm a big fan of your work. I'm like, nigga, and so am I. Like,
Put me
what I mean?
up on some opportunities to make some more paper.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of catching up to do. I told you, my granddaddy never had a pair of drawers that fit him right. And I feel like I got to get back at the world for that. Because I know he didn't never reach his full greatness because his drawers was too big. He wasn't comfortable.
Well, like I said, my dad ain't had no headstone. He definitely ain't do what he was supposed to do before he got up out of
bro,
here.
we got to overcharge these niggas for what they did
to the Cold Crush all the way.
Right. The Brilliant Idiots is brought to you today by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform for building your brand and growing your business online. Stand out with a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything, your products, content you create, and even your time. Squarespace makes it easy for creators to monetize their content and expertise in a way that fits their brand. With member areas, you can unblock a new revenue stream for your business and free up time in your schedule by selling access to gated content like videos, online courses, or newsletters. Create pro-level videos effortlessly. The Squarespace Video Studio app helps you make and share engaging videos to tell your story, grow your audience, and drive sales. Stand out in any inbox with Squarespace email campaigns. Collect email subscribers and convert them into loyal customers. Start with an email template and customize it by applying your brand ingredients like site colors and logo. Built-in analytics measure the impact of every send. Use those analytics and insights to grow your business. Learn where your site visits and sales are coming from and analyze which channels are most effective. Improve your website and build a marketing strategy based on your top keywords or most popular products and content. Head to squarespace.com/idiot for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code IDIOT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/idiot with the offer code IDIOT for 10% off your first purchase. And I got to thank Molson Coors once again, man. Molson Coors, thank you for sponsoring the Brilliant Idiots. Life's more exciting when there are peaches involved, and that's why we're brought to you by Simply Spiked Peach, okay? From the makers of Simply Spiked Lemonade, Simply Spiked Peach is now available. 21 and older only because it contains alcohol, okay? All flavors of Simply Spiked are crafted with 5% ABV and 5% real fruit juice squeezed and concentrated. This spring, Simply Spiked has introduced a flavor that fans have been asking for since day one, and that's that peach, baby. That's Simply Spiked Peach. Pick up a variety pack today. Try all 4 new fresh flavors: Signature Peach, Strawberry Peach, Kiwi Peach, and Mango Peach. Simply Spiked Peach is the newest addition to the Simply Spiked family, joining Simply Spiked Lemonade, which broke the internet when it dropped last summer with its 4 bold and refreshing flavors: Signature Lemonade, Strawberry Lemonade, Blueberry Lemonade, and Watermelon Lemonade. Go to drinksimplyspiked.com/idiots to find out how to get your hands on new Simply Spiked Peach. That's drinksimplyspiked.com/idiots. Flavored beer, naturally flavored with other natural flavors. Simply Spiked Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Celebrate responsibly. Simply Spiked is a trademark of the Simply Orange Juice Company. Now let's get back to our conversation with the 85 South Show. What were some things y'all were intentional about when doing this deal with Netflix in particular?
Man,
being taken serious.
Yeah. Netflix was a 2-year deal, bro.
Really?
Yeah. It might have been 3 to keep
3,
it real.
really. Yeah.
I remember the first time we all sat down, and they had a bunch of this is what we not gonna do, sort of thing, and I got to bring that back to them. But we was intentional about Netflix. I think once it settled on us that it was a commercial, the light kind of went off for us on how to approach it. Because we gotta own it. It's gotta be this. It's gotta be this. But once we took that approach, it made it an easier process.
Everybody adjusted to.
I had to talk them into it. I'm just gonna say it. We on the platform. I had to talk them into it. They was ready to walk. I was like, no.
I ain't gonna lie, right? I'm real big on business, boy. I be like, boy, hey, boy, we way more powerful than that, boy. I don't care about nothing.
No,
like, come on,
DC.
I'm like, that's what you want to do. I'm going with you, big bro.
Just listen. This is an opportunity for us to be opportunists.
We don't want them to have shit. He like, let's do it. I'm like, I'm rocking with you.
The way I looked at it was like, it's like performing at the Super Bowl, man. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's like performing at the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? You get that Super Bowl halftime performance, your streams go up, your ticket sales go up, and that's the way you look at it. You know what I mean? It's like a Super Bowl performance for what we do in comedy. We got to put our platform on a platform that's as big as the Super Bowl in regards to streaming, and now we went number 1. So
now I'm scared though.
See, I'm
saying I'm scared.
But see, this
because I don't want nobody to come to one of our live shows and then the first 12 rows is sold out, and all the niggas gonna be like, bro, bro, y'all should have embraced this while you had the chance.
But see, did the thing right. They know we capable of going number 1, but they also know that we'll negotiate to keep ownership, and we're willing to turn away if we don't get ownership. So as long as everybody's standpoint still got approved and got across the right way, because I'm like you said, the deal was 2 years. It wasn't 2 years because we couldn't get our shit together. It was 2 years because we were like, no.
Working on our own terms and conditions.
Hell no. It ain't sounding right to what we trying to do. Like he said, it's halftime, it's the Super Bowl. But guess what? It may be the Dolphins playing goddamn shits and giggles. This ain't the right Super Bowl right here. We gotta wait till the big one. And once that bitch was big,
one in Miami,
the Cowboys ain't never going to. You know what I mean? That type of one. So it's one of those things where we realize that the next time they come, it's like you can't deny. You know what I mean? You can't deny what it is. You can't deny what it is. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of getting that opportunity. That like you was talking about getting that opportunity. if you give me the opportunity to show up and I'm, auditioning for a contract in the NBA, when I come and I destroy everything, when we tear down the whole, you can't come to me and say, well, we only have a 10-day. Well, I don't play on 10 days. I shouldn't even have to be doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I did it Yahweh just to show that, okay, I'm willing to take this step back and let you handle the business the way you handle business, just to show you that when we come in and handle business, this what business look like on this side. You know what I mean?
Y'all want him to come back with one of them Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle deals.
Hell yeah.
They ain't got no choice.
They might do that. They might do like a 2-3 deal with y'all. 2-3
They ain't got no
deal.
choice. And we already got them ready for them.
Yeah.
They ain't got to do nothing, put their name on.
What's one of the biggest lessons you learned while turning the 85 South Show into the brand it is right now?
Doing it with a collective.
Yeah.
That is possible. Like you said, ain't no blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't no blueprint to be a successful black-owned business. You know what I'm saying? Because like everybody swear up and down, somebody in the mix is somebody like, no, bro, we are professionals. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. You have to be a professional. Our emotions is out the way. Our egos is out the way. And we come together and sit down in the round table and we make the best decision better on the business. Not for you and you. It's a collective. If 9 out of 11 is agreeing with it, the other 2 got to ride with the 9.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. That's just how we is. And I feel like I always look back at this and we all go do our own ventures and do our own things, but we take what we learn from that and we bring it back over here because we have a successful business that we built from dirt. And like you said, we went #1, we on billboards, but we ain't done.
Nah, you're not even
we
close.
ain't nowhere near done. So we just got to continue.
What would you say?
I mean, for me, it's just been trust and how important it is in all things that you do, especially business. You know what I mean? You got to trust people, man. You got to trust that, you know what I mean? If I close my eyes and grab your shoulder, that I'm going to make it to wherever the fuck we supposed to be going to and vice versa. So just that level of trust and being able to know that no matter what decision is being made is for the greater good of everybody and being able to trust that and being okay with whatever happens in regards to the decisions that is made. If it don't work, it don't work together. If it does work, it works together. Whatever failures we've had, we felt together. That billboard that's in Times Square, LA, we get to celebrate that the same way we dealt with the failures together. So that level of trust that's there is one of the most important things in building a business that looks like the one we've built and we're building, is because if you don't have that trust, you don't get to this point. You don't get to the point of being able to, revel in the successes of going to somewhere as big as YouTube or being on a Black Effect or having the type of relationships that we had, because when we get separate from each other, you will be able to know that we don't really fuck with each other because the energy will be different when I'm around versus them two around and vice versa. So that level of trust that is present when we together versus when we not together, that same energy, ain't nothing going to be said by these two motherfuckers about me or vice versa that we wouldn't say to each other in front of the world. Like, that level of trust is so important because nobody can break into, and come and get in your ear and be like, man, hey man, fuck that shit, man. That's the only way that can happen is when that trust ain't there. So I realize how important trust is in business.
What about you, Lo? Or Chad?
Go ahead.
No, I'll say it's 2 things for me. There's no protection in being isolated, So as much as we talk about the collective, that's a real thing, As soon as some money comes down the table, we're talking through it. As soon as the opportunity comes down the table, we're collectively talking through it. I don't have to be like a genius because I have 3 geniuses right here and another 3 there that we can get to a middle ground. And then secondly, I think this process has taught me business is not as much money or hard work as it is leverage. So you really are just building leverage, more or less leverage every day. And that's kind of how you navigate through the world. But that's not something you learn in a business class or something you're going to read in a book. That the more leverage you can create is the more that you can control and navigate your own world.
Los?
One of the most important lessons that I learned about this is that money is important, but it holds no value.
Oh, that's how I know y'all getting money now.
No, I'm not saying this. What I'm saying is,
I mean, you gotta chill out, bro. They been doing this shit too many years, my nigga.
It's like money is important, but it holds no value. Like, money should never break up the family or change who you are as a person, or change your thought process. You know what I'm saying? That's the number one thing that people fall out about in this industry. When you have a team and you have a collective, you have to make sure everybody eat. because you don't want none of that, because that can fuck up your whole synergy. One unhappy person can fuck up all the success. So you got to make sure you look out for your people and take care of your people, and don't sell your soul for the dollar.
But you know the sad part, even when you do, you can be take care of your people, but they want more.
Exactly.
That's when ego comes in.
Mm-hmm.
That's when, and I learned that from him, not the ego part, but the money part.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you know me, I'm tight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hell no. He like, listen, fuck it. I'm like, what you mean, fuck it? Hell no. You kill what you eat. Like, he like, listen, if that's what it is, let it go. We gonna keep going. And it rubbed off on me. Like, it rubbed off on me. Hey, we ain't have to speak about it again or nothing. I was just like, well, if that motherfucker can do that, okay, I'm trying to figure out how he see it. Why did he move like that? If he moved like that, it's only because it's a good heart. And it ain't about the dollar. Because we're going to get the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, let me try it. And then when I tried, I saw myself doing it constantly. Well, I'm like, all right, what sacrifice did you take? All right, okay, well, look, you take that shit. All right, well, you get that one. Because I ain't really, not saying I'm not tripping on it. As a collective,
You
as
see
a
what
business,
it do.
I see how it keeps going and it keeps moving. And I'm like, all right, that's what this is all about. It's about picking up the slack and keep going. And this is probably one of the best, this is probably the best business, best group of people I done ever been around, bro. And if all fails, and motherfuckers say, you got 10 people to build a business with, who you gonna get? I'm gonna get these motherfuckers.
That's real.
Straight up. And I just got the chills just by saying this.
That's real,
like,
though,
I'm
man.
gonna go get these motherfuckers.
And that's why it ain't about fuck the money or none of that shit. It's just that, man, that shit is the easiest way to destroy everything that you did.
Right.
The wrong motherfuckers, like it breeds so much envy and negativity and resentment.
Right.
So you have to use that shit as the tool that it literally is. It ain't just about clocking every dollar or chasing the bag. It's about your integrity, your mental, love. Like, what are you using this money for? You could just pile it up and have all of it, but if it ain't making the motherfuckers around you better or providing better like everything for making everything around you better, it's fucking useless.
That's real. Last question. How do y'all see the 85 South Show brand evolving from here?
Hiring Breakfast Club.
You gonna hire the Breakfast Club?
I ain't giving this nigga no money. He got all the money. Like, he got all the money. Charlamagne
God
really
is
is
good,
Batman.
God is the greatest, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But nah, for me, I would say, that question is always unique to me because, me and Los was just talking outside, like, man, I never try to limit myself to what my mind can think of because if I did, then I wouldn't have been able to write out half the shit I've accomplished already. So as long as I can we keep doing this, whatever God got in store for us doing the work that is necessary for us to keep doing it, it's going to be to the sky, man.
Bro, 2013, we was in this city, me and this motherfucker walking back and forth to Western Union MoneyGram. Broke. Sending the little 50s and 100s home, 200s. To go from being broke walking around this city to having a fucking billboard in Times Square in 10 years, nobody could have ever told us that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you just, when you look at it from that perspective and just, the way my mind works would keep me humble, I guess, is all the things that are issues in my life now would have been the solutions to every problem I had when we was walking down the street in 2013. Yeah. I'm talking about whatever it may be. Man, I just had to, like, you think about it. You just said you had to do what you had to do to get back from, L.A. to New York.
Yeah.
Imagine when you was a nigga working in Philadelphia.
Living with my mom. I was living with my mom in 2009. Back home with a 2-year-old at 32 years old.
Think about that. And you think about the fact that you could do that now. Like, that's what keeps me from answering the way you see it going. Because who the fuck would you have been? Oh, yeah, one day I'm going to be able to just boom in. Now, you wouldn't have thought no shit like that. Your mind wouldn't allow you. So even though we are where we are now, I would never restrict myself to trying to figure out what's going to happen because it's bigger than what I can ever imagine. I know it.
I want to have one of them big-ass buildings with a lot of bricks and we all got the whole top floor, ain't nothing but offices and shit. You got to get one of them little passes to come up.
Y'all got that now in Atlanta? Y'all got a damn compound.
Yeah, but we going up with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we still on
the ground floor.
We wide right now.
Yeah.
I want to go.
You want to go vertical.
So the flows above it, up under us is part of.
We just gonna keep stacking on top of the bid. We're not about to stop with no one studio. That's our first studio.
Mm-hmm. That's the
We're gonna look back, like you said, at 5, 10. Like, damn, how did we pull that off in that little bit of that bill?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Really, how much work we did in that?
Yeah.
Nigga, we need these 50 flows.
Yeah.
Right. We got 50 different shits going on every flow.
Yeah.
What you see, Chad? How you see the brand evolving?
I still think we finally getting to the checkpoint of stage 1. You know, like where we really have a media company. So we have a studio, we got a film division, we have a management company, we have a merchandise company. And now we're here. Okay, now we're running a company. And, you know, so like in my world, we're somewhere, you know, what Tyler Perry is and what he's created, kind of following that trajectory.
Yeah, because he ain't called us yet.
Yeah.
That's how I know we still got work to do in Atlanta. Yeah. Tyler Perry ain't reached out to us on nothing.
Yeah. Losing Tyler. I was talking to Tyler a couple days ago.
Well, you need to call us on 3-way, nigga.
Yeah.
No, because y'all two are the only people I saw super serve those secondary markets. You know, they like to call us the secondary markets.
Yeah.
The Charleston, South Carolinas, and the Jackson, Mississippi. They say that's the secondary, but y'all go there and y'all super serve those people.
Man,
first of all, they not secondary market. They primary market.
Nobody. People. I heard when you said that in the interview. I thought about it. Like that's bullshit when you think about it because we're just the only ones who make it known that we're catering to those markets. Yeah. Every black artist that there is makes their money in the South.
Everybody.
In the history.
Everybody.
And they call it the chitlin circuit, which is disrespectful. It's actually the heart and soul of black America.
Exactly. It was the chitlin circuit at the time because it was the only places that we were allowed to showcase our talent. Right. Because we couldn't go to these venues. Like you said, when we beat these certain entities and we made number 1 over these entities, they thinking that that's number 1 and other people are watching it. And kudos to everybody that's popping their shit. But when we get the opportunity, you see what we do. Mm-hmm. So they looking at us like, oh, these are chitlin circuit acts. And I'm like, no, we acts. You feel me? That's what it is. And the South ain't a chitlin circuit. It's 50 states in the United States. And LA ain't the biggest.
Nope. And they just shut down affirmative action in colleges, so niggas might be on their way back to the chitlin circuit. The way it go.
From the business side, I love LA, love New York, love Philly, love Chicago. Them the most expensive cities to produce anything. Mobile, Memphis, New Orleans, Louisiana, Jacksonville, Florida. These people, Nashville, they gonna come to your show. And then they're going to sell it out. Then they're going to sell it out 2 or 3 times. Then they're going to buy all your merchandise. Then they're going to ask you to come do a pop-up shop for $10,000 for 3 hours.
Because they appreciate the art.
Yeah.
Right. They don't look at it like chitlin circuit.
And then they're going to cook. They're going to cook out right there in front of the store and offer you home-cooked food.
Facts.
You know, it feels like family. It's Charlotte, North Carolina, South Carolina, all these cities we go to in the South. They treat us, it's real.
Damn near 70% of all black people in America are in the South.
That's the thing about being up here though, like in New York, you see that transition and you see that they want that type of love when they be like, man, when y'all niggas coming up here, son? Fuck. You know, it's a little different way that they ask, but you see that, you know what I mean?
Bum ass nigga, we love music
we love niggas, nigga. Fuck is up with you niggas, nigga. Like, but the fact that we've been able to curate a platform that people can see, like, man, I want some of that shit where I'm at, nigga. Don't make it so difficult. Don't make me have to fly to wherever, man. Bring that shit here. And when we came and did the King's Theater in New York, and or we go to Philly and we go to these places, it looks the same because those people that are there, everybody from the South, for real, no matter where you from, if you black. But when you come, you want that love too, and where you from, because 9 times out of 10, if you from a major metropolis like this, it's real hard for you to find, especially in the way we offering it.
Yeah. Well, I think the next level, man, before y'all don't do no deal before we do an independent movie.
Oh, that's next.
I done told y'all.
We doing it now.
Whatever.
We got
y'all doing an independent. Y'all got to do one independent movie on y'all own.
Oh yeah,
and it's
coming up. It's coming up like literally right now. It's in production, bro.
Yeah, and then you gonna be in it. We gonna make you the old Charlamagne versus the new Charlamagne. We gonna get the makeup and put your old face on your new face, and make you fight to get your new face back.
Make you fight to get your new face back.
Fight to get your new face back. You know what I mean? Old face versus new face Charlamagne.
Who he got to fight?
Himself.
Nah, what about the nigga that was downstairs waiting on him?
Oh yeah. Nah, he already.
We already found them niggas. We just gonna find 2 niggas.
You gonna find 2 niggas. You gotta. Like, all you gonna hear is, "Can I get a drop?" Then they gonna turn around. You still want a drop?
Yo, I said the last thing y'all got to do is one independent movie, man. I've been talking to you about this for years. One indie movie.
Well, I would be happy to inform you that we are 1/4 done with the independent movie.
Okay.
The script is being written out right now. I think we got a classic on our hands. Very funny, very hilarious.
I got whatever on the investor.
Whatever. Say less.
Well, I got a budget, but it's what it is.
Yeah, don't switch it up now, nigga.
Whatever budget. You want me to write it down?
So we can add the car crash.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I told him we gonna get his old skin back. That's what he got the budget. We gonna get his old face back and make him put that on. And you gonna be like Zordon off the Power Rangers. You gonna be like who we got to talk to get our missions for whatever we doing in the movie.
No, I'm gonna invest in that with y'all.
Probably you got it, bro. Your family is very successful these days.
No, man, proud of you though, Slim. Man. I remember when you didn't have all that too. You know, you were still in a better position than we was, and you still used the position you was in to help us. So, it's always salute to Charlamagne.
He changed though.
Evolved.
He changed for the better or good. I mean, of course, evolved, but it's like change for the better because you want to be better.
That's right.
Of course, you still do you, and you get on people's nerves, but I don't think people look at it as like, oh man, this motherfucker just get up on our skin, bro. You really
people don't have no idea what you really do. They really think you just own this fucking Breakfast Club.
Man, it's one of
they don't know how fucking deep you are in these streets. Man, and you do a great job of keeping them off your trail.
Key, yeah.
And I think you should use that same discretion with us when you keep talking about money and shit.
Right. Yeah. I hate that nigga. This nigga, man. Yo. Chico.
Y'all doing big things. You doing big things, motherfucker.
I'm looking at your splits. You're looking at the diamonds, man. Life treating you good, huh? Fuck you, nigga.
Y'all boys don't even like money no more.
You
nigga only eat food on the yacht.
Been giving us opportunities for years. You act like I got the money, nigga. You got the money.
You got the paper because we was at the Chop House and they brought the bill. I was like, man, call Charlamagne.
Everybody got their own show in the same building. That's just how good y'all niggas
Y'all
is.
doing great over here, man.
We're doing all right.
Like, see what I'm saying? No, there it is. There it is. You can be doing all right, but we got... Oh, I know you niggas rich now. Oh, yeah, that's how I know you niggas is getting money, baby. Well, baby, where's the caviar, baby? Where's the champagne?
So what about you, TV shows and producing? Are you big on that?
Yeah, he done been doing it.
I do a bunch
Uncommon
of that stuff
Sense. Yeah. Is the comedy is it done?
Oh no, they canceled that.
They canceled it.
The writer's strike and
that's right.
All that other shit.
Yeah.
Did they cancel Uncommon Sense, or you can pick it back up and do what you want to do?
Uncommon Sense was that MTV2 ended as a network, so they weren't doing no more programming. Yeah, the last one I had, the God's Honest Truth, and Hell of a Week.
The writer's streak.
We talked about this off like on the phone before, but what's your thoughts on ownership and equity splits and how they should go as you invest and partner?
I think strategic partnerships are the way to scale. I think that companies like y'all are doing it exactly right. Like you know when to go do strategic partnerships and you know when to keep things 100% y'all own. I think that these people out here that's just screaming 100% ownership of everything, that's just ridiculous and short-sighted. There's no company that does that. There's no corporation in the world that does that. Everybody partners with somebody in order to get the scale. Yeah.
So partnership, when I'm going to break it down though, when you say partnership, that don't mean you buy equity into the company. Now you are a part owner of the company. You partner with the company.
Like joint ventures and stuff.
100%. But see, like y'all, right? Y'all own 100% of things. If y'all partnered with somebody and gave them 10%, if they're bringing an infrastructure that's a multi-million-dollar infrastructure or $1 billion infrastructure and they can take 85 South from...
We can partner with them, but you'll never get 10% of what we already started because now we technically... Because on the contractual side, we have to bring you in order for a degree. And if you say no, we cannot go through with it.
No. If y'all, as long as y'all got the power and the creative control and y'all still call the shots and I'm just over here as an equity investor, no. Because I mean, what if this infrastructure can take y'all from a $10 million company to a $200 million company? Now y'all busting up hypothetical. You can partner with, but that's what I'm saying. Now y'all busting up 200, 300 million as opposed to 20.
I'm just trying to bust up whatever the fuck they gave you over there at that network for canceling that show, nigga. God damn.
I'm going to show you because you my man. I'm going to show you. I'm gonna show you.
Why you ain't showing me?
I'm gonna show all of y'all.
Oh, all right, motherfucker.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you.
He said, I'm gonna show you.
No.
You see how you do me? I just was waiting for y'all to pick that up. I'm gonna show you what you ain't get.
Information is important. That's why I wanted to have y'all on.
Oh yeah,
and just have y'all
way.
talk about the business of 85 because I hear so many people talk about what y'all are doing,
Right.
but I've never heard y'all, break it down publicly. I talk to y'all as individuals.
I mean, we don't like to talk business.
Yeah.
a lot.
I get
We
it.
talk
I get
business,
it.
but we don't like to talk.
I get it. I get it.
I feel like we gotta say some people that I want to do some business with Def Jam and Monster, and I want to get with Johnson & Johnson and come out with my own cocoa butter.
That can happen.
Soft elbows.
No,
I'm
listen,
writing the book and the fashion people, man. I'm telling you, man,
Chico.
them and them motherfuckers. Oh, I'm telling you,
I need to work
this
with the good
fashion
folks at
industry.
Chevrolet.
Stop playing with me, man.
You want to do a book, Chico?
Yeah, I'm gonna write a book.
The bucking, right?
You know, I got a book in print.
You got a book in print?
I get privileged publishing with Charlamagne and Schuster.
Charlamagne & Schuster? You got a Charlamagne & Schuster? All right, yeah.
I need to
whatever.
holler at you too.
I put Karlous on email with him. He ain't even replied back.
I'm on my fourth
bad.
page.
I still, my bad.
I'm on my fourth page.
Of your book.
Mm-hmm.
You should do a children's book.
Shit take time. Why do nigga? I'm trying to get deep, and you gonna send me straight to the kids?
No.
I said I'm on my fourth page. You need to do a children's book.
And here we go, DC Flow. Hey, kids.
A means you ugly ass little boy. Hey, B means you.
That's a hit.
A means you ugly ass little boy.
Yes. It can be about self-confidence.
Means you a ugly
Little boy, okay now, B. Means you a palm ass little boy, okay now, C. Means.
Yeah, that actually is a good idea.
Come
now I
on,
think about
man.
it.
Come on,
That's
man.
crazy. Hold on. One of these shows is bringing out and it's called a teenage crackhead.
Yeah, I think that's just on your TV, nigga.
No, it
I think
ain't,
Miss
bro.
Pratt doing a show called Crack Babies or something like that. She doing a cartoon called Crack
It's some
Babies.
shit
or
called
something like that.
Teenage Crackhead and some shit. And
Teenage,
they
like
highlighted
Teenage
I'm talking about they
Mutant
green
Ninja
lighted that
Turtles?
shit. I'm like, what if we would have came out with a teenage crackhead? We would have been talked about forever.
Yeah, you guys are too close to the crack for us to accept it. Yeah,
Listen,
all the way.
It's the 85 South Show, y'all. Make sure y'all go download the Channel 85 app.
Please.
Subscribe to all 85 South Show content. Make sure y'all watch the
Netflix.
Ghetto Legends on Netflix.
Yes, sir.
Make sure y'all subscribe to the 85 South Show podcast on the Black Effect Podcast Network, man. Y'all brothers just keep growing, man.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you for everything, bro.
Company.com. We
Yeah.
got some new threads, some
I got
new
on some of the merch
fabrics,
right now.
Yeah.
some new merchandise. We dropping gym shorts. We dropping baby clothes. We dropping toddler clothes. We got
Yeah,
stuff
we got
for
a
women.
dope ass onesie.
We got candles.
For real?
Yeah, we got a onesie for the
We got
baby,
all
my
that.
boy, with
And
the
then,
snaps in the middle.
Damn.
We not
Speaking
playing.
of people y'all want to do business with, whoever has a licensing for Negro League Baseball, I want to get in touch with them.
Facts.
You can get in
because-
touch with the good folks over there, Mitchell and Ness. They can.
That's who it is.
Yeah.
They
Whoever
can
has
point
a
that
license
in.
to make this stuff, our company should be making this stuff.
Oh, I
A
got you.
black company should be making Negro League Baseball license.
Mitchell and Ness make my Black Effect hat.
For real.
Absolutely.
All
I'm
the
going
way.
to back up.
Salute to the
ASAP.
good folks at
We can
Mitchell and
produce
Ness,
and
man.
I
manufacture.
love
the
them, bro. They
finest.
gave me so much shit
Yeah,
for my
hell
birthday.
yeah, all the way. That's love, man.
Trent, I'm gonna connect y'all. I'm gonna connect you with the 85 South Show, man.
We
And you
will.
know who else? You talk to. I'm talking too much. I'll tell you.
We'll talk offline. We'll talk
We're gonna get
offline.
that shit
It's the
together.
85 South Show.
Yeah, appreciate you.
My
Real
dog.
idiots. Peace.